Hello, ladies and gentlemen. It's a beautiful Monday morning, and I'm very glad that you could be here with me. What Monday morning is it? It is July 20th Monday morning. A bit messy, but it works. You know, it is interesting. Let me just start off. It is interesting how sleep affects our lives. Something so fundamental. Something so filled with whimsy, tiredness, deprivation, excess, sleep. Dreams and landscapes, nightmares, all sorts of things. Interesting how we can function with a lot of sleep, with a little sleep. Because I have not, personally, been sleeping well. And yet I find, when I manage to get up, and yet I find that I have so much energy than I thought possible. What brings us together? What is it that sparks interaction? Sparks friendship, community, perhaps a common goal or a common interest? Perhaps a safety and a familiarity. Familiarity. This is a nice blue, by the way. It kind of, well, as I'm looking at it, it has kind of a bluish purplish color. On screen, it kind of looks more blue, I guess, but has a bit of purple to it. A touch of periwinkle, per se, perchance. You ever use fancy words with people that you know aren't going to know the meaning of those words, so you can sound fancy, even though you don't know the definition of that word, and you may probably be using it incorrectly? Good sentence. Purely to sound intelligent, of high sophistication. Yes, I do this all the time. No, I'm not thinking, oh man, this person's dumb. No, that's not what I'm saying. But I do use big words to try and sound smart, Because it's fun to use big words. But sometimes I get called out. I'm like, oh, I actually don't know what that word means. And I used it incorrectly. I have caught myself a couple times thinking about, I should use a big word here. But I'd be like, no, let me just speak normally. So what's a good big word? Or not a big word, but like a fancy word, an uncommon word. A word of rare usage. Usage? Ooh, I thought of one the other day. Bodacious. That's a fun word. I think it means, I looked it up and I kind of forgot already. It's just like, that's pretty cool, man. Excellent, interesting. Those sorts of words. Bodacious. Oh, there was one I used. Oh, onus. That's a good one. As far as I understand, it just means like responsibility. The responsibility, or sorry, the onus of being vice principal. The responsibility of being vice principal. Something like that. I don't know, man. Somebody fact check me. I'm talking to me. I should fact check me. Fact check me. Do you like doodling? When was the last time you made art? The last time you just put something down on paper? Or hummed a tune? That's art. Sure. Why not? Art and good are not synonymous, right? How would you define art? A great question. Thank you for asking. You're welcome. Hey, I appreciate that. I appreciate you. Me? Yes, I do. Wow, thank you. That's so sweet. But anyway, how do you define art? Is it simply a product of creativity, of imagination? Something that is not impractical, but has no practical applications. And by that I mean like, you can't build a building with art. a building can be artfully made. Wait, I'm confusing myself. Also, it's like there are bad good songs and good bad songs, but also bad bad songs and good songs. Does that make sense? Essentially, what you fill your life with is what you are. Wow, so insightful. It's like watching YouTube, right? My YouTube interests have shifted through the years. And I've noticed, and the same with, let me give a better example. My friends. I've had different friends at different periods of my life. And I've found that that we adopt portions of each other's personalities. I become a little bit more like them, and they become a little bit more like me. Well, maybe. I don't know, I'm not that influential, but I definitely noticed me acting more like them. Maybe adopting more of their style of humor. Maybe adopting more their outlook on life. And with different friends, that shifts. Consuming different media, that shifts. But anyway, did I even spell that right? If I didn't, then I owe you. Aha. The places in life that I have been. Ooh, I remember what I was going to talk about. Or a thought that I had. Wait, no, I forget. What was the thought I was going to have? What was the thing I was going to think about? Where was the place I was going to go? Oh, yes. A very common human experience, I believe. One that is still impactful, just because it's common. Anyway, is, if I can find the right words, oh yes, going through scenarios, talking, imagining talking to people, imagining things happening, and getting worked up, I guess, about those scenarios. having an active imagination. I don't know how to describe it. You ever like have a conversation with your friend in your head, and then maybe that stops you from actually having that conversation? Or you imagine an interaction at work and how it could go, and then maybe that stops you from even initiating that interaction. That's purely my imagination. Yes, it may have started in reality. Why is my imagination keeping me from doing things in reality? I don't know what's going to happen. I should just do it. I shouldn't let my mind stop me from doing something simply because it thinks it knows what's going to happen, whether that be good or be bad or neutral. I should just do it in reality and see what happens in reality and have that experience, that knowledge, rather than something I just made up. That probably is not that close to reality, to what actually happened or would happen, and you never know what might come of it. I never know what might come of it. Yes, it is terrifying. But is not having that experience, having that knowledge, I mean, I guess it depends on the situation, but I suppose in for someone like myself, with these imaginings being more often than not inconsequential, or not inconsequential, but not of high risk, let's say. Just do it. Just do it, Tim. Live in reality, not in your brain. Develop, experience this life. I could go on for years, and perhaps indeed I have, in making up scenarios, making up what ifs, and avoiding things because what I think might happen. Do I know? No. Do the thing. Do it. Live in reality. Experience reality. This is not a pre-packaged experience. I have agency. I can make choices. And indeed I have many good and many bad. Life experiences don't come from what I think might happen. They come from what actually happens. And I won't know what actually happens unless I do the thing. Of course, of course, of course, It is much more difficult to do things in reality. I'm not claiming that it is easy to do. I'm not saying it's going to be fun and happy and bright and lovely all the time. If you were in a room and in this room you were self-sustained, you had everything you needed to survive, whatever that may be. But in the middle of that room was a chest that was locked. And you didn't have the key. Or maybe you do have the key. How long would you sit in speculation as to what might be in that chest? We like knowing things. We like having the answers. Our brains are trying to convince us that we can have the answers without any of the risk, per se. Those aren't real answers. If you want to know what somebody thinks, you gotta ask them what they think. I have to ask them what they think. If I want to improve my life in a certain way, while thinking about it is helpful in planning, nothing's gonna happen. There will be no results until I do it. Will I open the chest? Or will I sit on the side of my bed, imagining all the possibilities? No, I'm not saying imagination is a bad thing. By no means. I mean, look, this is imagination on display, right? That's what this is. But if it keeps me from being in reality, or if I allow it to restrict my life, if I allow it to halter my, that's a great word, by the way, halter my progress, it is no longer beneficial. It's no longer, that's not a good thing, right? Or am I totally off base? Do I need to be benched? Have I made a foul play? Have I upset the ump? I don't know. I don't know. Maybe that's what I'll try this week. I will try and not ignore the scenarios that are run through my head, but I will try and not let them essentially control me through fear. Because that's what a lot of them are, is, you know, you think through maybe, oh, if I do this, it's going to be, oh, so I'm going to be so embarrassed. Or if I do this, they're going to get mad and it's going to be that. If I do this, it's going to be a lot of work. Just see what happens and accept the consequences. Accept that that is reality. Gain that knowledge, Tim. I can do it. I know I can do it. I know it'll be really hard. I know it's something that will take a lot of practice. I can do it. Oh, a nice little rant, a little ramble to start the week off. A little goal. I hope you guys have a wonderful week. Take care, and I'll see you next week.